Let's talk loans. More specifically, business loans. Should you get one? Should you get one if you don't need one? And should you get one if you don't think you need to pay it back? Let's discuss. And as always, if you enjoy my content, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'll be right back with you. Hey YouTube, it's your girl, The Real Teddy Talks, educating you daily on entrepreneurship, your hustle and your grind, and building generational wealth. Let's talk about business loans today. As you enter the business realm, you're faced with many challenges, and one of the most important challenges is funding. Funding is key. You really shouldn't even get into business if you don't have the money part figured out. We don't need to make it complicated, but it has to be figured out. And one potential part of that funding side is loans. Back in the day, when I was old, but back in the day, 20 years ago, I think it was harder to enter into business as an entrepreneur, and people were thinking really big because there was a lot of brick and mortar buildings. Online wasn't a thing. The internet wasn't really a big thing. So it costs a lot more to enter in business. Now, however, 2021, it can cost you as little as an internet connection, right? Or a phone connection or a mobile service provider. And then you can have a business on social media, YouTube, whatever, right? So things have changed, but the need for a business loan still may be there. Let's go over 6 reasons you may need a business loan and what you should do if you get one. This topic is especially pertinent today because of the Economic Income Disaster Relief Loan and the Paycheck Protection Program loan that were introduced for the second round as part of the economic stimulus in the United States. So those of you that are pondering whether to get the EIDL or the PPP, this may be a good video for you. So the first reason you may want to take a business loan is to expand your business. Suppose you have a business that's running smoothly, operations are kind of going, processes are established, you know what you need to do, you know how you need to do it, and now it's time to scale. Scaling is so important because your business needs to grow. It doesn't have to keep growing when you don't have the revenue and profit to support it. But if you do have those things, it's okay to get the bigger and better thing. I talked a few days ago about getting the free services, the free Canva, the free ConvertKit, the free this, the free email funnel, the free course hosting, anything like that. You can get the free version. But once you've made it and you're doing well, maybe you need to invest in that more expensive version like Kajabi. I think Kajabi is like a email marketing, online course hosting platform all in one. But I think the cheapest plan they have is like $119 a month. And that's not small cheddar. So things like that you maybe need to upgrade to. So if you are thinking about expanding your business, a business loan may be the right thing for you. I should have said this in the very beginning, but I'm going to say it now. Don't ever get a loan that you don't have intention on paying back or that you could not pay back if you had to. And the second part of that is the interest rate. You want to make sure that the interest rate is doable. I know a lot of people get into loans, they buy cars, and it's like ridiculous interest rate. We're talking 6, 7, 8, 9, 12% interest. People have 20% interest on their credit cards. No way in hell. If you can't afford to pay it back, and if the interest rate is not suitable, and by that I mean between 1 and 4%, between 0 and 4%, you probably shouldn't get the loan, okay? So if the terms aren't good, don't get the loan. But if you're looking to expand, the terms are good, a business loan may be what you need. But never take more than you can afford to pay back, and don't take more than you need. You don't need to save it for anything. Every dollar you borrow is costing you money. The second reason you may need to get a loan is to buy necessary equipment. For those of you that are maybe a more hands-on approach or you're techie kind of entrepreneurs, you may need to buy equipment, and that equipment can be very expensive. Let's think woodworkers on Etsy. If you're making benches for someone or plaques or something like that, you may need to buy that special woodworking drill or press or burner or whatever things people need like that. If you're into tech and you're one of those reviewers of tech and you haven't made it yet to where these companies are sending you their item for free to review because you have a huge YouTube following, maybe you need to start buying those things. So you need to buy that next laptop and then resell it. Or you need to buy the newest camera and resell it. Whatever those costs may be, you can offset that with a business loan. So then you can have that capital to start your business. So don't be afraid to do it for those purposes because you know you're going to get there. There is a rhyme and there's a reason to growth. And if you have to invest and surge and infuse money into your business to do it, you definitely should do it. The third reason you may need a business loan is to purchase more inventory. If you've been watching my videos, you know how I feel about inventory. It kind of makes me cringe. But if you're a clothing seller and not a clothing reseller, if you sell a lot of stock, like you're a craft person and you have a lot of like card stock or crafty type items, so you may may need to keep inventory. For those of you that do need inventory for your business and you need to stock up on that inventory and it's not perishable, it's not out of season, it's in demand, then a business loan may be a good reason to take for that purpose. As long as you have ran the numbers and you know, as long as you're paying this loan off, so just say it's a 2 or 3 year loan, will that stock that you purchased still be relevant 2 or 3 years from now? Same thing for a car, right? If you get a car, don't get more car than you can afford. Don't get a 5-year loan on your car and 5 years from now that car is going to be in a junkyard somewhere, right? So make sure that while you're paying off the loan, the thing you use to finance the loan for is still viable, it still has some value, and it's worth something to you. Now, another way it's been suggested to use a loan, the fourth way, is to build credit. I'm challenged with this because I think it is important to build credit. And those of you just starting out, especially you young entrepreneurs, you Generation Zers, I'm so proud of you guys. You may need to build your credit. And taking advantage of the EIDL or the PPP, if you can apply for it, would be good. And getting a loan, paying it on time, paying it off early with good terms is a good way to build credit. But if you're not good with money, you're not good with following rules, you're not good with keeping up with things, a loan can destroy you. Same with a credit card. If you do not know how to pay your bills on time, or if you don't have the intention to pay them off early, do not finance anything. Don't get a loan, don't get a credit card. Because little do people know, it's the late payments and missed payments that destroy your credit more than anything else. It's when you don't pay for something, you stop paying for it, it gets repoed, or even a day late. I'm military, so I move all over the world. I remember one time I actually closed an account. For some reason, it didn't close and they billed me. It was for XM Radio and they billed me. I went through hell to get that late payment. It was like I didn't find out till 45 days later. I went through hell trying to get that off my credit report. One missed payment. It like dropped my credit score. I had like a 780 credit score and it dropped it to 740. It dropped 40 points for one missed payment. So I tell you all that to say, if you're not responsible, don't get a loan and don't get credit cards either. These are for people that are going to do what they need to do to get where they need to get. They're monitoring their credit every month. And as soon as they feel like they've established the credit they need, you don't even have to wait till the terms of the loan are over. Just pay that stuff off. Pay it back. Keep the money and pay it off. You've done its purpose. Let that loan go. So it is a good tool for building credit, but if you're not responsible, don't pursue it. The fifth way to get a loan is less popular, but if you're searching for business opportunities. Suppose you have an opportunity to go into a joint venture with someone and they have established business, they have established following, or they have established clientele, and they want to sell your item in their store, but they're requiring maybe like 100 stock minimum of whatever this thing is. And you don't have 100 stock of that item. And you need to purchase materials or help or whatever it is to get that item, to scale for that opportunity. That may be a good use of a business loan. Just make sure the terms are clear. Whatever joint venture, affiliate, contracting agreement, whatever you have, the legal stuff is all laid out and clear, and you think that the benefit outweighs the risk. If the benefit outweighs the risk, go for it. If the money you can make on that deal outweighs the risk or the inconvenience of having that loan for a little while, then do it. But my recommendation would be the moment you can pay off that loan, pay it off. Make sure you stay up on your payments and make sure it's worth it. And the sixth and final way we'll discuss today why you would need to get a business loan is to add to your staff. If you need some new, innovative, young, go-getter, virtual assistants, whatever you may need to infuse into your organization, you don't have the capital or the cash to do that, but it's going to take your business up several notches, that may be a reason that you need to get a business loan. If you need to hire a brander or that marketer or that agent and you just can't afford it with the current funding that you have, but you know that once you hire them, they've made you guarantees in writing that they can scale you to the next level, that may be a good reason to get a business loan. In all, business loans are something you should get if you need it, right? Number one, the EIDL and the PPP are meant to help offset any hardship that you've encountered from the COVID-19 pandemic, the global pandemic. So you should pursue it in that case to build your credit. Sometimes it's good to just have money in the bank. And I think the EIDL, the interest rates are so low. I hate to quote a number. I think it's like 1%. And you have like 30 years to pay it off or something crazy like that. So in those cases, it doesn't hurt to have money sitting in the bank, and yes, you're paying a small, minuscule interest rate on that funding. But if you can take that opportunity and you qualify for the loan, you should absolutely get it. You should take it, have that money sitting there, because it may give you an opportunity to do something you hadn't thought of doing before. If and when all the factors are considered and you've weighed the pros and the cons and you've gauged your own responsibility and your own necessities and you think it's still worth it to get the business loan, then go for it. Don't hem and haw on it very long. Know the consequences. Consequences of applying for a loan, your credit score takes a hit. Consequences of applying for a loan is you have to pay it back. You're going to be paying interest on that loan. So there are several consequences of paying a loan. There's no such thing as a free lunch, my mom always says, so there's always going to be repercussions. But if the benefit outweighs the risk, I think you should go for it. Invest in your business and invest in yourself just 1% a day, and you'll have phenomenal results at the end of the year. I want to help you reach your exponential greatness. This is the Real Teddy Talks, signing off.